Well, hello there, good evening, and welcome. This is your Superstation Joy 99.7 FM, and this is Strong and Sassy. My name is Enimwa Enim Ado, and we'll be doing this until 8 o'clock. So I'm sure you're absolutely inundated with how we have been talking about breast cancer this month on all our shows because, we love you and we're trying to save lives, but also trying to encourage our brothers, our sisters, and our family members who are going through any sort of cancer. But this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we're focusing on that. And we decided that we were going to have a couples edition, so we're going to talk to husbands and wives so that they share with us really what it's like dealing with sickness and pain and how it affects the dynamics in the home and the raising of children and their interpersonal relationship, their sex lives, just how they cope with it. And so tonight, I'm super, super happy to have in the studio with me Mr. and Mrs. Ahiabu. So Mr. Anthony, it's his first time on radio, so we're really, really excited. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Anthony.
Thank you.
Ahiabu, he's an accountant for the CSIR, and his wife, Mrs. Louisa Yaira Ahiabu, who is a senior human resource manager at the Department of Surgery at the Kolobu Teaching Hospital, and she is a breast cancer survivor. Thank you so much for joining us, Louisa.
Thank you.
So let's start at the beginning. How did you find out?
Well, I found out when my husband was playing with my nipple. That was how I found out. But at that time, I thought it was just a pain, something which is not a serious thing.
So what did it feel like?
I felt a pain, a sharp pain.
Sharp, okay.
It was a bite.
Okay, from just a touch?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not a touch. He was actually sucking
but
my
not
breast.
biting?
Not biting.
But it felt like a bite? Okay.
So I made him do
the
same
other
to the other one, but I didn't feel that way for the other one.
Okay.
So it was kind of, I wasn't sure what it is. So I was just keeping it, hoping it's something that
nothing.
would go.
Okay.
Not until I lost my mom.
Okay.
After some years, before I realized that no, I need to also check myself.
So you felt this pain?
Yes.
Years later?
Years later.
In between, there was no pain?
No, there was no pain. It was just that. And what I think I did after hearing, there was a breast cancer awareness month around that time. So a year, if you want to check yourself for breast cancer, you have to squeeze your nipple. It was there that I squeezed my nipple to check if blood or something will come out of it.
Yeah.
Then I realized that there was a colorless fluid coming out of it.
Okay.
But still, I wasn't convinced there was anything wrong with me.
Okay, there were no lumps.
There were no lumps at the time. I wasn't feeling any pains.
Okay.
My breast was okay. Just that thing that I felt, and that was all. So by then, my mom was also going through something like that.
Okay.
By that time, we didn't know that it was breast cancer.
Okay.
She was in Keta then.
Okay.
So, the doctors, I think they didn't know what it was at the time. So she realized that how she was feeling. It was becoming too much. So she has to go to another hospital for further, checkup from another doctor. It was there that they realized that no, this could be breast cancer. So they referred her to Old Trafalgar Hospital.
Okay.
That was where it was finally detected that it was breast cancer. By then, my mom's own had advanced. Yes.
And so you lost her.
I lost her after 2 years.
So sorry for your loss. Yeah, that must have been hard.
It was.
Yeah, that must have been really hard.
Soon after her death, I also discovered I also had it. I buried my mom in September. In October, I went for a checkup screening, the usual screening at Trust Hospital. And because of the strong history of my mom's issue, they gave me a request that I should do a mammogram.
Okay, just
usually
random.
They did the normal, breast screening. They didn't see any lump. And I told them that this is it. This is what I'm feeling. When you squeeze my nipple, this water comes out of it. The water is not blood. It's just a colorless fluid coming out from my nipple. So I was asked to do a mammogram.
Okay.
So the mammogram came out and there was a lump in there.
Wow.
Was a lump right around my armpit. So you wouldn't really notice there is a lump.
Okay.
So I kind of not really feeling it because my breast is dense. You see, this is the tricky side of it. When your breast is dense, you don't really know whether that is your own breast tissue or there's a lump over there. Those are some of the things that can trick women into thinking there's
fine.
Nothing wrong with you. So soon after the mammogram. The results coming out, the doctor said I have to do a biopsy. So I did a biopsy, and whilst was waiting for the reports, was just praying and hoping that it shouldn't be breast cancer. So eventually it came.
But I feel like whilst you were waiting and hoping and praying, there was a part of you that knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it was.
Yeah.
But I was just denying. I just didn't want it to be.
Wow.
I had a strong feeling that
it was. Yeah.
Yes, looking at what my mom went through and hearing the stories that if a relative in your family has it, the possibility of you getting it, the females in the family getting it, was so high. So I had a strong feeling that what I was feeling was breast cancer.
Was breast cancer.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Soon after burying your mother and also getting to know that this is exactly what killed your mom.
Yeah, I mean, even the fear alone.
It wasn't easy.
So the doctor just told you that?
Yeah, my doctor that I used to see was not my usual doctor at the time I went for my results. I went for my results actually and send it to the doctor. You have to go in for your report and send it to the doctor.
Okay.
But when I got there, my usual doctor wasn't there. It was a different doctor who saw me. But he said it without any emotion. It was just said right in my face. And he told me, why did I wait so long? That day, in fact, I had to hold myself together. I didn't know how I managed to get home, drive back home from Trust Hospital, Osu to Dansuma.
It's okay. It's for almost every survivor that we've spoken to, there seems to be, and I'm concerned, a certain lack of empathy when the news is being broken.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you ask someone that you've just told has breast cancer that, why did you wait so long? Like, if I knew, do you think that I wouldn't have wanted to have been treated from the get-go? And maybe that's something else that we will explore at another time. But I think you collected the reports, but you didn't open the envelope.
I didn't want to open it.
Most of the women actually opened it before they got to the doctor's office.
I didn't want to open it, but I knew it was it.
You knew?
Yes, because right after the biopsy, I started feeling pains. Initially, there was
nothing.
I wasn't feeling the pain, but immediately the lump is punctured. You know, the biopsy involves a needle being pierced through
inserted into the lump.
So to take some of the tissues out to go and check whether it is.
So there's been a tampering.
Yes.
So
the moment it's been tampered, you begin to feel the pain more than it's used to be. So that was what actually happened to me. So I don't know whether psychologically I knew that there's something wrong. Then the whole thing became something else.
Wow.
Yes.
So you went to the doctors alone?
Yeah, that time my husband went to work. Okay. So I went there alone.
Alone?
Yes.
Got the news?
Yes. And I came back home alone, drove myself back home.
How did you drive?
That's why I said I didn't know how I managed to go home.
What was going through your mind? Did you call him immediately or?
I called, yes.
You called at the hospital?
Yes, I called at the hospital and then he told me to take it easy.
So let me come to you, Anthony. So tell us about that phone call.
Yes, I was at work then, as she has said, and she called me. Actually, I was checking up on her on the report, whether she had gotten it, what was the outcome, and she hesitated. And they said it was it. What? It was breast cancer. Actually, for the rest of the day, I was not in myself. I was just sitting down there looking into the air, knowing very well what we all saw. Her mother, the pain she went through, eventually we lost her. And your wife also coming to go through the same issue.
Yeah.
You can imagine, I was just in the office, not knowing what I was doing.
Wow.
Eventually had to close and also go home. So, in fact, it was so a sad news that you will not know how to describe it.
Yeah, I can
if
imagine.
you had not been to any situation like that, knowing that your mom or your mother-in-law had gone through the same process, the pain, the financial issues, it was too much. It was too much for us, and that was how it came.
That's how. Wow. So, so you called him. You get home. Then what?
When I got home, I just lie down and started crying because I was alone.
Yeah.
My kids were in school then. We have a boy and a girl. The girl was at school. The boy too was also at school. So we were alone. So when I got home, there was no one at home. So I just lied on the floor and I started crying. I cried. I didn't know when I slept.
I always wonder in those moments, were you crying for yourself or were you crying for your children?
I was crying for myself and my children because my mom has died and now it's me. And also my daughter, I'm also thinking about her.
Yeah.
That what is going to, happen to her also. It's beginning to look like it's kind of a genetic thing.
Yeah.
So I don't even, at that moment, I can't even pray. I just lie down and I cried. I cried myself to sleep. I didn't know when I slept. But before I realized I slept and then I woke up sometime. I didn't know when I got up. So I got up and I was like, so what am I going to do? So I was alone until I got a call again from my husband. That was what brought me back to myself.
I feel like, first of all, your husband is like your angel.
Yes.
Because if he was not doing what he was doing for us to feel the pain, maybe you wouldn't have,
maybe survived.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Wow. Okay. So after that, then what?
So after that, an appointment was scheduled from my doctor that I used
Was there
to
any
see.
sort of support after the breaking of the news? Was there like a follow-up call?
No, those things are not there.
There was nothing like that?
No, there was nothing like that. But the doctor that was seeing me, I have that personal relationship with him.
Okay.
But the one who broke the news, that wasn't somebody my usual doctor that I see. So he was the one who said he wants to see my husband.
Your usual doctor?
My usual doctor.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we lost him. He's a renowned surgeon, Dr. Richard Kise, one of the fine doctors that died during the peak moment of COVID at Trust Hospital.
Right.
May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
So he was the one who actually was seeing me, and then he said I should take it easy. That mine, where it is, there is hope. I shouldn't panic.
Okay, so you were at what stage?
He later, at the second stage 2.
Okay.
Yes, it was a grade 2 kind of, and mine was estrogen related.
Okay.
It's kind of fueled by estrogen.
Okay.
So I'm on a drug right now that suppresses estrogen production in my system. So I did chemotherapy, I did radiation, but then my chemo somewhere along the line was stopped.
Okay.
But before then I had my surgery.
Okay. So take us through the getting
surgery,
ready for
the surgery. Yes, that was why I said the doctor called. He told me that I should bring my husband.
Okay.
So we had an appointment with him that he wants to see my husband because the reason why he said that is because mostly when women hear this and they go to tell their spouses, they don't come back to the hospital for fear of, the cutting of the breast and those things, the husbands would tell them that no, you shouldn't go, so you should go to the herbals and all of that.
Okay.
So he said he wants to see my husband.
Okay.
Then he would talk to him.
Okay.
And I said, okay, no problem. So my husband was ready, and then the time came, and then we all went in. So he talked to my husband. My husband said, no, if that is what is going to save me, he has no problem about it. If they have to cut the breast, myself, I was thinking they are only going to take the lamb, because the lamb was very small. So when he told me they are going to cut my breast, in fact, I was so devastated.
Did they cut your breast?
Yes. In fact, I have taken all my 2 breasts as I'm sitting here.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. What was
it?
that?
It is
like?
only one that was affected then.
Okay.
And then we had a surgery. When we did a surgery in 2019, that was on the 8th of December 2019. Okay. So after the treatment, the sore healing and all of that, I was referred to Korle Bu.
Okay, wait. So back to the surgery.
Yes.
So you go in, you're going. You knew beforehand that they were going to completely take it off.
Yes.
So they take it off.
Yes.
What's that like when you see yourself for the first time with no breast? Because then you had one and then you had one that wasn't. What was that like? That first look?
You kind of feel pity for yourself. You feel, I don't even know how I'm going to describe it, but it's pity. You begin to feel, you're I don't even know how to describe it, but you feel pity for yourself that this is not you. So how are you going to manage this throughout your life?
Yeah.
It's kind of devastating.
Did you feel like you had lost something as a
Yes,
woman?
at that time, yes. But what I had in mind eventually is that at least if I take this off, perhaps I'm also going to be alive for some years to take care of my children. So that thing encouraged me not to think so much about the loss.
Okay.
So I feel, okay, if I have to lose this in order to survive,
gain life,
then let me just let go.
Okay.
So I decided to just, with time, trying to psych my mind. But the place that it became difficult for me is whenever I am dressing up, and I have to put on the prosthesis, you have to adjust it. The adjustment to look more normal like the other one, it takes so much time. Because your usual breast is on you.
Yeah.
The other one is not part of you.
Yeah.
So you need to adjust it very well in
so
order
that it's
for them
balanced,
to
and then
balanced.
It looks
For you to have your head high and go to wherever you are going. But sometimes deep down you feel something is not right. People are looking at you that your breast is not the same. So this kind of psychological trauma that you go through every day, it's kind of, it was so much.
Wow.
So
I want to know how it affected Anthony, your not having one, but then you're actually saying that there was a time came and you took the second one.
Yes.
So tell us about that, and then after that I'll speak to Anthony about it.
I had the first surgery 2019, and then I was on a hormonal pill, and it was having the side effects were becoming too much.
Okay.
I went into menopause, hot flashes, which was becoming so embarrassing. I would just be here with you before you realize water all over me. I see somebody has poured water on me. So all those things made me stop taking the medications.
And this
that
was
were given.
after chemotherapy?
After the chemotherapy, I didn't complete.
Okay.
Because it's estrogen related.
Okay.
The doctors decided that no, they will put me on the hormonal pill.
And that should suppress
so I did 2 cycles. I was supposed to do 6 cycles of chemotherapy.
Okay.
I did 2. And then one of the consultants saw my history, read through and said, they should stop it for me. Since the side effects were becoming too much, I lost my hair. Your fingernails were dark and all of that. In fact, I just don't look fine. So I went to complain to her that, in fact, I feel like life is coming out of me. I'm not too well with the chemotherapy. Isn't there any other way for me? So it was there that I said, So she went through my folder and checked my history, and they realized that no, there's a way out. So he said, no, they have to stop the chemo, and then they'll put me on a hormonal pill. But I did a stupid thing, excuse my language, that I stopped taking the hormonal pill, and I'm sure that also brought the reoccurrence. I had a reoccurrence.
Why did you stop?
Because of the side effects. My bones hurt a whole lot.
It was just too
much for me. And I thought I was fit, because at that time I was fit. I go to the gym, I go for walks. Myself and him, we go for walks in the evening.
You guys have a lot of fun together.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Every Saturday we
go for walk, we go to the gym.
Wow.
So I thought I was okay. So I thought I was
And obviously
fit.
the lump had been removed.
It was removed.
And you felt fine.
Then it was one of those days that we went to the gym that I noticed the lump again in my armpit, the same place. I got scared.
Yeah.
So quickly I had to go to our surgeon, Dr. Dede.
And confess that you
Then I
have.
told her that this is what is happening to me. She was like, Louisa, we have to do surgery immediately. Oh, no time to think. The lack on my side is because I am close to her. So she said, no, you are not going to. If you said you will do it next month, it means you will do it 3 months from now. But there are a lot of cases. So they have to do it for me next week. Then, okay, I said, okay, doc. Then if you're going to do it for me, then I want to take the second breast also.
So that it's just...
They said no. They said no. I said, no, doc, I want to take it off. Because I was also going through psychological trauma, because each time I see myself in the mirror with one breast hanging, but before then I sought his permission that this is giving me headache. I want to take the second one too, because we've been thinking about it, but I could not muster the courage to just go purposely to take that one until the reoccurrence came. It was there that I told the doctor that no, then I want to take the second one too. We checked, we did mammogram, nothing was wrong with it, but I just want to take that one off, because since it's also a breast tissue, there might be a reoccurrence over there also. So I want to take that one also. So when they were going to do the surgery for the removal of the lump, they did this one also. So I took all the two.
Wow.
So these are prostheses
That you have now.
Yes, given to me by Safe Haven Cancer Support Society.
Okay.
It's one of the support groups that I belong to. They were the first support groups that, came to my rescue. During the COVID time, they came to my house and brought the prostheses to me. Yes, the CEO, shout out to Auntie Janet Brako Hiampa.
Hi, Auntie Janet.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
She's in town. She came from Canada. She's around.
Anthony, so how did it feel for you from having, this your wife who you love, in whose bosom you find peace and pleasure, to suddenly there's nothing there?
Yes, it was very disappointing. But the issue also was that since we lost the mom through the same process or through cancer, we thought it wise for her to take it out. If that was the only way she could live, it was a better decision to take it out than to leave it because of pleasure.
Yeah.
So we made up our mind that she should take it out so that she will live longer.
So how the last, and this is a bit of a personal question, so if you're not too comfortable answering, that's fine. The last or the night before the surgery, was there ever a moment when you just looked at the breast and you thought, the end has come, goodbye to you, my dear friends, till we meet again? Was there some sort of, you know what I mean?
I actually went to the hospital with her. I took her to the hospital and I was with her. I was in the waiting room throughout the surgery. And actually, it was a great loss. It was actually a great loss. But we prayed to God and God took us through.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have not regretted.
Of course,
she's looking
live,
good.
Yeah.
She's alive, she's looking good. The friends who also went through the same thing, one of them, the husband was not ready for her to take the breast. And we've lost her. Wow. She's not alive. And 13th
of this
October
month was
exactly
1 year
when
she
she passed on.
Wow.
A close friend.
Very close friend of mine, because when she died, it really affected me, because I was trying hard for her to survive. Whatever thing I hear that could help, I tried to make it up to them, both herself and the husband. But unfortunately, we lost her.
At the time, the husband realized that the thing was getting bad. He came to see the doctors, and they told him, actually, there was no need to come for the surgery. The thing was already bad. So they just left her to her fate, and she died.
Wow. That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Very.
That's so heartbreaking. I mean, so I guess for you, there's that validation and reinforcement that it was the right decision.
Yes.
Even though there was nothing wrong with that breast, it's almost like just let it go to make the chance of it re-happening as minimal as possible.
Yes.
Has that affected your physical attraction towards her?
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so much. Because she's a beautiful lady, as we can see.
She
her.
is, yes. And
so
full
there
of
are
life.
other parts of her that are still
You can
there for
enjoy.
me to enjoy.
Okay.
So we are managing it.
Yep, okay.
And I'm okay with it.
How does it feel? Again, another personal question, but
Yes.
how does it feel in the... I'm trying to be very mindful about the fact that children are possibly still awake at this time.
Yes.
But how does it feel to approach the woman you love? And men, there's no doubt about the fact that men are drawn to that part of a woman's body. So, you know, you put your arms around her, you're rubbing. And how does it feel every time you do that and you come to the front and there's nothing there? Is it a moment where the scar is a reminder of the fact that I could have lost her? Or is there, do you feel that loss of that part of her physicality?
I actually do not feel it so much.
Okay.
It was rather her, my wife, that would not feel comfortable. Initially, she was not feeling comfortable and was always requesting that at those special moments there should be light off those things. But I say, no problem. Life is not only this. There are more to life than this intimacy and the other thing. So we've managed it and we are managing it and we'll continue to manage it.
I'm tearing up.
Yes,
I mean, because for me, it's so amazing when men like really just, stand by the woman that they love and they're like, we're doing this together and it doesn't really matter what is there and what is not there. I mean, how does that make you feel? If it's making me emotional, I can imagine how it makes you feel.
In fact, I got a lot of support from him. I'll say we are a nuclear family. When this thing happened to me, it was between us only, myself, him, the kids, and two of my brothers. That ended it. Not too many people knew of it until the reoccurrence, the second one. That was where some church members got to know, because I have to do radiation. The first time I didn't do radiation. I did a radiation when the second one, the reoccurrence, came. It was there that church members have to also come in. It was kind of very emotional. We weren't, I don't know how I'll say it, but it was not easy for us.
Yeah.
This moment weren't easy for us at all, but he has been very, very supportive. My husband has been very supportive. Myself, I don't feel fine looking at myself in the mirror. So I have been planning to do a reconstructive surgery. But he said no, because throughout my life, even my childbirth, I have gone through about 6 surgeries already. So he told me, I don't know how it feels anytime he has to sit at the theater waiting for me.
For you.
So he's okay with this.
I can imagine. I mean, wow. 6 times waiting for you.
Yes.
And not knowing if the doctor is going to come out and say
or not. So at least God has been merciful to us. So no reconstruction. I should just take it. After all, if I don't tell anybody that I don't have breast, no one knows.
It's just
He's the
between
only
you
one.
and him,
Yes,
yeah.
and even if the world knows, and I'm putting on a prosthesis, they are not seeing the physical body, so he's okay with it. So that is how far we have gotten to.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of support from him, seriously. So I always pray for God to bless him, to keep him strong. He has been a pillar.
Yeah.
We started not today, from when we were young. So it has not been easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, okay. I need a minute. It's not even my story, and I need a minute. Wow. What how did the kids
Got to know.
Yeah, what was it like for them?
Yeah, my daughter came back from school, and it's kind of, she heard the news. She came, she saw me, and she broke down in tears. She came to me, that ma, so me too, I'm going to die.
How
Like,
old
mommy,
was
you're
she?
also going to die.
How old was she?
At that time, Fafa was 15.
Okay.
15, yeah. She was 15 years. Because she saw the grandmom before the grandmom passed away. The day the grandmom passed away, she actually went there to pray for her. Because I took her to school that day. I was sending her to school, and then she said she wants to see the grandma before she goes to school. That was a Monday morning. So we went there, and the condition in which she saw the grandma, she knew something is not right.
Yeah.
So because the grandma was always in pain and all of that, he said she prayed to God that if grandma is going to be in pain throughout, God should take her life. But if she would come back with no pain, then God should heal her. And that morning, she passed away.
Wow.
So she knew that if grandma died because of this, and my mom is also having this, then what is her fate?
Yeah.
So she cried. So I have to hold her and then console her and assure her that I am not going to die. That,
Even though you didn't know.
yes, even though I didn't know, but I have to be strong for her.
Yeah.
Afterwards, after the encounter with her, trying to calm her down, assuring her, telling her that she should rather pray for me because I know God listens to children's prayers even more than we the adults. So I need her to be strong and pray for me so that I'll be strong and be alive for her and the brother. So it was there that she cleaned her face. I hugged her tightly and asked her to go to her room. So when she left to her room, I broke down.
Yeah.
I actually broke down and I cried. So I went down on my knees and I prayed that God should listen to her prayers for me because they are not old yet. I have a long way to go, so I need more years to survive so that I can take care of them and also to birth their children one day. Because my mother is not there, their grandmom is not there, so who is going to take care of them? So those were my prayers. If not for myself, at least for her kids.
For the kid.
Yes.
Do you think that she believed you when you said that?
I think she did. Yes, and she's also a strong-willed girl, so she did.
And your son?
My son, as for him, he's not too mature, men.
Boys.
Yeah. He came with mixed feelings. He will look at me, then he will look at me with some mixed feelings. And you don't really know what's going through his head. You ask him, he say, it's okay. It's nothing. So you ask him questions and he will not respond. So I try to force him to find out what is going through his mind. But he doesn't come out with anything.
Anthony, did he talk to you at any point?
Our son is a type who is always quiet.
Okay.
You have to probe and probe.
Is he like you?
I think so.
Like me.
I think so too.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, we know him very well.
Okay.
So we just study how he behaves in order to also know how to go along with him. Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to force him, you see that he will coil completely. He will not even answer your questions when you ask him questions.
Wow.
That's the type. So we know how we handle
How
him.
you handle.
Yes.
So, through the treatment, the chemotherapy, then the second surgery, and then what was it like for the kids? Were you talking to them about every stage that you were going through, or did you try to shield them?
No, the good side of all this thing is that They weren't around.
Okay.
They were in school.
Okay, they were in boarding school.
Yes, they
Okay.
were all in a boarding. The girl was at a Berry Girls at that time, and the boy too was at a JHS, but was in a boarding house at the time. So they didn't really see what I went through.
Okay.
It was when she came back from vacation, that was where she saw that I have one breast hanging.
Okay.
That was where she broke down.
Okay.
But that was not how I was before she left.
She left. Okay.
Yes. So after the diagnosis and all of that, she didn't know until she came back from school before she knew that something was amiss. So she was down, but I gave her assurance that I would not die. And myself, I have that strong will that I won't die. If I'm going to die, I'll not die of cancer.
Okay.
I always have that strong will that is not what's going to kill me. So I have the hope that I will survive. I have an auntie who is also alive. It's over 20 years now. She was also diagnosed with breast cancer, had the chemo, the radiation, and all of that. She's alive right now.
She's also alive.
Yes.
So that gives you.
It gave me hope.
Yeah.
And this Cancer Support Societies that I join, when you listen to other survivors' stories, they give you hope. It gave me so much hope that if others are alive, why not me? So you listen to what they did before they are alive up till now, you follow suit.
What are some of the things that
you have to
did?
take life one at a time, no stress. Where there is stress, avoid it. Someone wants to stress you, you leave the place. As much as possible, just live life one at a time. Listen to what the doctors will tell you concerning your medication. Don't stop
your pills without
letting them know. So this one, I have been hitting it.
You have.
So other survivors must take note of this. If you have been given any medication, just continue. If it's not good for you, go back to the doctor and tell them that this is what you are feeling. Tell them this is how it's, the medications are having a toll on you. They would, find out other means of helping you, because they know that there are a lot of cancer treatment. There are a lot of medications that they can give you, other alternatives.
Yeah.
Yes. So we should not stop taking the medications until they tell you that now you can stop.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's quite important.
Yes.
So Anthony, let's switch to the financials of dealing with cancer. You talk about the fact that when your mom-in-law was sick, it was tough, especially financially in terms of the bills as well. What was it like when Mrs. was going through?
When she had the first diagnosis, we actually took care of the finances.
Okay.
It was when but after the first one, I think a year later, it reoccurred. And at that time, we had not recovered fully
from the first. Was it a lot of money?
Oh, yes.
It's expensive.
Yes, for the surgery alone, we paid about 13,000.
Yeah, that was
at
a
the
trust hospital. At that time,
and
2019.
The test that you do,
it's not part of
the
it.
medications.
It's not part of the 13,000.
They are not part of
it's not
that. Yes. As for those ones, they come as and when they ask you to do it.
You buy it.
So it's difficult to actually
the amount.
keep records of those ones. But what we actually paid as a lump sum was about 13,000.
Yeah.
And then the medications also came in. When it reoccurred, that was when we actually sought the help of some friends who came in to assist.
To support.
We belong to Catholic Professional Guild.
Okay.
So one of our members who knew of our story,
his name is Edward I am.
Okay.
We were not comfortable
with it. My husband was not comfortable at all.
We were trying on our own to raise money for it again. As she has said, the doctor didn't give us the chance to, when they diagnosed it again.
Yeah, it was 1 week.
Yes, it was very short, and we had to mobilize money immediately. We were even having some property elsewhere we wanted to sell, but we realized that the time was so short that it was not possible to mobilize money.
So this
friend came up with the idea reluctantly we agreed, and they also raised some funds for us, which we use in settling some of the bills.
Radiation and the rest.
Yes, there was just during
it was for the radiation.
The surgery and all that else, we took care of everything. And it was time for radiation. That was when they came in to help.
Wow. How did it feel to have people support you?
I felt that people loved me, because when the thing was placed on the platform on which I also belong, within a short time, people started.
In a matter of 2 days.
2 days, people were donating.
Wow.
I felt loved.
Yeah.
I felt, so people liked me like this. I never knew. So, in fact, it really helped. That, if people...
I'm surprised that you are surprised that people like you. Because even though I don't know you, I feel like you're always talking to everybody and in everybody's business and smiling and laughing with everybody. So, I mean, obviously, they'll be like,
that's exactly who I am. You saw it.
Yeah. But that's amazing. I mean, to have people rally around and support you like that.
They did.
They did.
Yes.
Well, thank you to everybody who helped.
Yeah, one way or the other. In fact, I really appreciate it. Thank them a lot. I have a lot of friends who really helped. Emily, Fortune, all this. They were my colleagues at Kolebu. They've all helped me in one way or the other. Anytime you call somebody, they are around. Anytime you call them, they are there. Seriously, in fact, people really loved me. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is still Strong and Sassy, and we're talking about breast cancer survival. This is the couples edition with Anthony and Louisa. Let me take a few of your messages, and then we'll wrap up. So Ajwa from Adensa says, good evening, Enimwa. Good testimony from this lady. May God continue to strengthen her and grant her long life to encourage others, and may He bless her fantastic husband. This is what real love is, for better, for worse. The truthfulness is amazing and encouraging. Thank you all for bringing hope. Dede says this man needs to be celebrated. Well, look who is the star of the show this evening. This man needs to be celebrated. Few men can stand with you throughout difficult times to the point of losing both your breasts, and he's still with you. May the Almighty God richly bless you and bless you more. This one says, this is Edmund. He says, this evening's program is very emotional and touching. I congratulate the couple in your studio sharing this life lessons experience. The continuous commitment of couples in the moment is worth emulating. And he lists the lessons that he learned. So he says, number one, the commitment of couples in marriage is very critical. The emotional and spiritual support that couples give to each other is very relevant and important. The emotional intelligence and maturity of this woman is unprecedented. God bless this couple. I intend to give her a book. All right, Edmund. Well, we look forward to that. Phyllis says, that's one of my brave and strong breast cancer survivors. Yo, 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 yo. Well done, Yaira. I'm watching you. But I figured that you know her. Joycelyn says, hi, Yaira. You know her as well. We thank God for your life. Thank you so much.
They're all survivors.
Yeah, I can tell. I can feel the vibe. I can feel the vibe. Thank you so much for your messages. Anthony, what's the biggest lesson for you in all of this that you've gone through?
The lesson that you can learn from this is anything can happen to you in this life. So if your spouse is going through this, it might be your turn one day. So you don't see this and leave your spouse to her fate. Leave her and go and marry another woman. No. If it was you, assuming it was you who had to go through this, will she also leave you and go and marry another man? So that is what you look at, and also be with your spouse.
Your spouse through it all. Louisa, are you afraid?
I sometimes do, because he's also going out there. There are lots of women out there. It might not be his intention, but somebody may want to do something, and men can easily, sometimes, that's the human side of me. But
that's the human side of all women. As for us, suspicious people. No matter the man hasn't done anything, no, we are suspicious.
No matter how.
See how Anthony shaking his head. It's like, yes. Yema. Bohobio. Exactly.
So no matter what, you still have that feeling because of your inadequacy. That is what drives me. When my boobs were there, I wasn't feeling that way so much.
Yeah.
But now that it's not there, sometimes I feel. So I ask him. I ask him a lot of questions.
Does she worry you? She worries you with the asking. I can see that. You worry him and then he becomes quiet. Yeah, I figured. I can see that you worry him with the same question. You ask it 4 times in 4 different ways. Oh, madam. Okay, so when you ask me, what does he say?
The same response. It just gives me the reassurance that I still don't find convincing. That's why I keep asking. But at least he has proved, for that long we have been together, and throughout the thick and thin, we have been together till now, even to the point of following me to places that I even go to give talks. That alone shows that he's there for me. So for now, I don't really... He
does not want your trouble. I can talk for him. He does not want your trouble or your wahala at all. So you can see that.
So I could see that he's here. He has been with me all throughout. So I always pray to God to give him the strength and to bless him and to give him the courage to continue standing by me the way he has been all these years.
And such a great example for your daughter as well in terms of what marriage should look like.
Should look like, yes. We've been together for more than 20 years.
Wow. So what's your biggest lesson from everything that you've gone through?
Actually, cancer has taught me a lot of lessons. I was living my life as if death does not exist. At age 40, that was where I came face to face with my mom dying. So it taught me a lot. It just brought, it reset me to know that, this world that you have come, we are just passing.
Yeah.
We are not going to, anytime you can go.
At any time,
Initially, it doesn't cross my mind that you will just be there one day, you will die.
Yeah.
But this thing brought this realization to me that death is staring at all of us. Anytime, anything can happen. So you have to be up and doing. If there's something you need to do, you do it now. If there's somebody you need to help the person. You need to love. If there's something we need to do to each other positively, let's do it now. Now or never.
Yeah.
So this is what it taught me. And also to take God seriously.
Yeah.
I will not finish my interview without mentioning God.
Of course.
Because he has been our bane. He has been our protector. He has been our everything from the beginning till now. Without God, I don't know where we would have been, because we had priests who prayed for us, who took us through some of these emotional times. They have been with us, Father Sylvester, Father Fulton, Father Hansen. In fact, I cannot end this interview without mentioning their names. They prayed with us fervently to give us that assurance that God is with us. God is with us, and God is going to be with us till we leave this place. So it taught me a lot of lessons that we should always rely on God and not on man. We should rely on God. So these are some of the things that I have learned, that cancer is not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life. Your mindset is also another thing. You need to be positive in everything, and that positivity will help you overcome a lot of things. So for me, I'll say my being positive about this thing that I'm going to survive perhaps has kept me alive till this this is my 4th year,
Yeah.
I would say. So some people couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Some even the beginning stages, and they couldn't
Yeah.
make it. So it taught me a lot of lessons. So that's the list I can say for now.
Thank you so much, Anthony and Louisa. We are so honored that you would share your story with us, and we thank God for preserving, and just it's amazing. I'm getting tearful all over again, which is but thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Anthony, a special thank you to you. We love men who show us that there are good men out there, and fathers who stay and husbands who stay and support. So you have our love this evening. We'll leave the rest to Mrs. to show the appreciation in the way that is needful. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so grateful.
You're welcome.
We also thank you for having us in your studio.
Oh, you're welcome.
For us to share
Thank
our
you
stories
so much.
and also to give hope
To the
other
hopeless.
survivors.
Yeah.